we just got word from Yelan. Looks like she managed to track down Ashvapati. Come on, let's go meet up with the others.
Took me a bit longer than I expected, but I found where he's hiding.
Let me just be sure of one thing. We're dealing with someone who has extremely dangerous weaponry in his hands. If it comes to it, are you prepared to handle the worst-case scenario?
Absolutely. You just need to trust us, just like we trusted you earlier.
Yeah, we've got this. My crew's already locked and loaded.
I'll take you at your word.
I know you said you wanted to keep this operation small, but I still thought you could use some backup. So, I chose a few promising young Spina members to help out. Clarande and I have got things covered at the expo.
Guess we're ready to roll then.
Now that you're here, I guess we can get this show on the road.
Wait!
I'm sorry, you can't come with us. You need to stay at the expo like we agreed. It's for your own safety.
We know. It's just... Do you really think Uncle Ashvapati is working for the bad guys?
I wish I could answer that question, but it would just be speculation. And I work based off evidence.
He's been gone for 2 days now, and he just left us here. He's never done that before. Maybe he really is working for those people and was afraid of getting caught. But if that's true, then that means he must have been involved in making and selling weapons in the past too. Wouldn't that make him a bad person?
That's not for us to say. Take a look around the expo. There are plenty of other people making and selling weapons. Doesn't mean they're necessarily all bad people.
Really?
The same is true for your uncle. Whatever he may have done in the past, the real question we need to ask is why. There's a lot we need to know before we can judge a person. In Fontaine, we have a long and complicated process in place just to make sure we get the right answer to that question.
Yeah. Why would Uncle Ashvapati do something like that?
How about this? I'll make sure that Miss Chevras and Miss Yelan promise to bring your uncle back safe and sound. Then you can ask him yourselves.
Thanks, miss.
This situation is complicated and unpredictable. Isn't it a bit early to be making those kinds of promises? It's all right. We're prepared for whatever we might face.
Regardless, it's a promise we have to keep. After all, when the children get their answer, it will shape their understanding of what justice means.
Then, let's all do our part to make sure this ends as well as it possibly can.
Stop right there!
Where is he?
We missed him.
Looks like he left behind plenty of evidence, though. Search the area. Let's see if we can find a lead. These records look suspiciously familiar.
Yeah. Doesn't seem very coincidental to me either.
What is it?
Remember when I said this group's cover was ironclad? They were always careful never to leave a trail leading back to them. The one time they slipped up, they broke the case wide open. We found a cargo manifest left behind at the scene. That's the clue that led us to Nodcry.
It was a similar story on our end.
And now that same manifest shows up here, among the records left behind by Ashvapati.
So, he's the guy that slipped up back then?
Unless it wasn't a slip-up at all. How does the same clue get left behind at 2 separate scenes and picked up by 2 separate law enforcement agencies? Thinking back on it now, it doesn't seem quite so accidental after all.
No. Almost like he led us here on purpose. But for what reason?
look at how it's positioned. It was begging to be found. I think it might be for us.
You think he knew we would come here?
If he did, he's a more impressive opponent than I anticipated.
Let's keep going. We can read it together when we debrief.
Wait! Is this what Paimon thinks it is?
It's the display model that goes with the prototype. Guess that does make him our thief.
What's worse is that, with his technical background, I bet he managed to bypass the security features on the prototype.
You're saying our guy has a battle-ready ballista in his possession, just waiting to be unleashed?
Oh, this isn't looking good.
Something isn't adding up. All the evidence suggests that he was here alone. Which begs the question, why would he unlock the ballista's features before even meeting up with his boss?
That's a question for another time. We need to focus on where he's going next.
This situation seems more complicated than we imagined. It looks like Ashvapati does have a connection to our criminal gang, but it might not be what we thought at first.
You don't think he's working for them?
Unlikely. He lured us to Nodcry, prepared those weapons on his own, deliberately put us on his trail. This is looking more and more like the work of an independent actor.
Well, if we want to get to the bottom of this, he's still our best lead. That would seem to be our last remaining clue. Let's do it.
To the officers of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol and the Liyue Qixing, you certainly live up to your reputation. Within a single day, you were able to eliminate over half of the gang's forces. I appreciate the effort. I doubt my secret hiding spot will be a secret much longer. So I suppose it's my turn to throw my hat in the ring. I'm just glad I no longer have to run. So, before my day in court is upon me, allow me to confess to my crimes. It all started with a Kashara War researcher, expelled from the academia for violating a taboo. He had dedicated his life to the pursuit of knowledge. But when he found himself in the desert, it wasn't even worth a pail of water to quench his thirst. Could you spare some water? I'm a Kashara War researcher. If you need something, I could.
Researchers like you are a dime a dozen. Smart as a whip until you find yourself in the desert. Then, you're lucky to survive the night.
Are you mocking me?
No, son. Just still trying to figure out why I've got such a soft spot for strays like you. Here, give me your canteen. You got somewhere to go?
Not really. Thanks to this water, though. At least I can rule out the bottom of a vulture's stomach.
Now you're talking like desert folk. You could always join my band of misfits.
What would I do?
Gather food, guard our water source, just like everyone else I've taken in. Of course, if you have something you're good at, you're welcome to show it off. Every little bit helps.
All I know is weapons.
Weapons?
Yeah, I love studying them. Big and powerful ones, small and deadly ones, old ones, new ones. I believe the essence of Kasharawar research is embodied in weaponry, and the pursuit of this kind of technology is what pushes the world forward. My lifelong goal has always been to become a foremost expert on all kinds of weapons, so I can invent even more advanced ones. So I might have borrowed a few sensitive techs without permission, but you see the vision, right? The higher-ups in the academia just didn't understand.
The academia could have 1,001 reasons for exiling you out here, and it still wouldn't matter to me, son. All I care about is what this specialty of yours can do for us.
I can help upgrade your weaponry. That should come in handy in a dangerous place like the desert, surely.
True, weapons are essential to life here in the desert. Most folks get them when merchants happen to pass through. But when it comes to protecting the people here, this scimitar in my hand is more than enough. The kind of weapons you're talking about are overkill for a place like this.
Overkill? Really?
Our group is lucky. Our ancestors learned how to protect the oasis from the sandstorms to prevent it from drying up. Plus, we're pretty far off the beaten path. Helps us avoid conflict with other bands of Eremites. All in all, we don't have to travel to find water, we don't have to fight off other desert folk. It's a real place to call home. There are plenty of ways to die in the desert, but behind a lot of them lies too much ambition. So, having somewhere to settle down is more than enough for me.
I see. Guess I could do some odd jobs then.
I've heard you Kasharawar scholars are handy with all kinds of gadgets. You could always make something for the kids.
You mean, like, toys?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind. It'll give them something to do. Life can get boring out here.
All right, then. And just like that, a Kasharawar scholar at the cutting edge of his field ended up in the desert, making toys for children. It got boring from time to time, but all in all, those days were quite pleasant. The Eremites accepted me as one of their own, and all the children loved me. Looking back now, I wish I could have lived like that until the end of my days. But then, those despicable people showed up, and it changed everything. Don't rush me. These materials are in short supply.
Oh, they've got a lot of nerve showing their faces back here.
Send the gem? It has been a while.
Well, we have a right to this oasis too. Our ancestors were part of the group that discovered it.
You hated this place. After that giant sandstorm when everyone else was trying to figure out how to help, you got out of Dodge the first chance you could get.
Because I knew better than to be stubborn. Stay in one place too long around here, and it might just be your grave.
You abandoned this place. If we'd done the same, the Oasis wouldn't even exist anymore. You gave up your right to be here a long time ago.
I heard they joined another band of Eremites after leaving us, but got kicked out. I bet they're only crawling back to us now because they've got nowhere else to go.
Chief, should we drive him off?
I'd like to see you try. I'm warning you. You won't get rid of us that easily.
Leave them be. This oasis has always been big enough to sustain more than one group of people. It's not worth spilling blood over. All that matters is keeping the people here safe.
At the time, I didn't think much of it. Just Chaim Wazet being the kind-hearted man he always had been. And so, normal life continued, much unchanged. Well, mostly. You can take the scholar out of the academia, but putting your life's work behind you is easier said than done. I often found myself flipping through my collection of blueprints and sketches. The ruin drakes, scattered around Sumeru, were of particular interest to me. As far as I knew, no one had been able to analyze or reproduce the technology within those mechanisms. But I was able to design a kind of lure to bait them into attacking a specific target, in effect, turning them into a weapon. Somehow, the new arrivals at the Oasis must have caught wind of it, because they soon started taking an interest in me.
Hope you don't mind me asking, but is that a weapon you're researching?
I do mind, actually. It's none of your business.
Rumor is you used to be a researcher at the Academia. All that knowledge going to waste out here in the sticks. What a shame.
What do you want?
I want to team up. The rules and red tape that got you kicked out of the Academia, they don't exist in the desert. You could take this research to the next level. As things stand, all you've got is a blueprint and a pipe dream. But what if you had access to the right funds and materials?
What are you suggesting?
Me and my men can get you what you need. In return, all you gotta do is bring this sketch to life. We've always had a good eye for business. Just never the right product. But this thing right here, the different bands of Eremites are gonna shell out Mora left and right to get their hands on it.
You want to sell it?
It's a win-win. You provide the goods, and I earn enough Mora from these people to fund the research of your dreams.
I don't know.
I understand what you're worried about, but listen, it won't come back to bite the people here. These people don't think bigger than this place. They don't get involved in conflict. I mean, come on. Their biggest enemy is the weather.
You've made a bad name for yourself around here. I don't want any part in this.
Well, it's your choice. But it could be the last meaningful choice you ever get in life. So I'll ask you again. Do you want to finally develop the weapons you've been dreaming of and realize your academic ambitions? Or do you want to stay here building toys for kids?
How I wish I'd made the right choice back then.
Yeah, we increased our prices. What about it? You gonna back out?
So, you're really as money hungry as they all say, huh?
Cash is king. That's just business.
Fine.
I'm done. I want out.
What are you talking about? We're making bank here.
I know what the weapons have been used for, and I refuse to be an accomplice to all this any longer.
An accomplice? Listen, that's got nothing to do with us. People would be at each other's throats with or without our weapons. So they die to a machine instead of a scimitar. What difference does it make?
Can't you sell more than just weapons? Surely this can't be all the Eremites are interested in buying.
If you want to make the big Mora, you gotta push what sells. That's just how it is.
And that right there is why I want out.
Fine. I've made more than enough to leave this dump in the dust anyway. If you want out so bad, have it your way.
What was that? No. Kaem was it. How did this happen?
You won't find a tribe in this desert without enemies. People have tried to steal water from this oasis in the past, but Kayem drove them off. Guess his enemies have been holding a grudge this whole time.
You sold weapons to his enemies. But he took you in when you had nowhere to turn. You owe him your life. Why would you do this?
It was the perfect excuse to drive up the price, that's why.
It was only later that I found out. This wasn't the first time Senegem and his men had turned around and stabbed their allies in the back. Let's just say, there was a good reason they had nowhere else to turn back then. I didn't chase after them, or try to hold them accountable. In that moment, all I could think about was saving as many people as I could, in a desperate attempt to atone for my sins. But once the weapons I designed were turned against us, the fate of this place was sealed. Even I could do nothing to prevent it. In the end, despite all the burning tents I rushed into, I was only able to save 3 children. And now, you know the full account of my crimes. I've been raising them ever since, while attempting to hunt down the men who made them orphans in the first place. This confession is for the kids to read, too. So, I hope you'll pass it along to them. They deserve to know the full truth of what happened. I know I'm in no position to make requests, but please, help them find loving parents to take them in. Above all else, they deserve a true family. Back then, I failed to see this through to the end. But I won't make that mistake again.
Jeez. If this is true...
He's after the same target as us. And he's out for revenge.
He even lured us to Nodcry to help him get it.
I think I know what he's planning to do with those ballistas now. If I'm right, this doesn't bode well.
Then we need to find him ASAP! It sounds like he's about to do something super dangerous. But we promised the kids we'd bring him back safe.
I can't just let him get rid of our target either. This crime ring runs deep. There are still many other conspirators we need to track down. Oh?
You got something?
He knew we'd be out of the picture investigating this place. I think he decided to spring the trap that we set up.
Oh, snap. He's not working for them. So our original plan could have worked all along.
The meeting will be happening any time now. Quick, we need to head to the rendezvous point.
Ashvapati.
It's been a while, Senegem. Over a decade, at least.
How did you find this place?
All these years. And the signal you use for the meetup point still hasn't changed. All I had to do was pose as your point of contact. And fish a time and date out of that scout you sent.
Useless bunch of idiots. Just wait until my backup gets here.
Oh, I think that might take a while. The Fontaine and Liyue authorities have your men locked down tight. Every last one.
No. There's no way the cops could have known we'd be here.
Unless, of course, someone deliberately left a trail of clues, leading them straight to the expo. That would be a different story, now wouldn't it? If they hadn't taken your agents out of the equation, I doubt I would have been able to lure you here.
So now what? You gonna turn me in, too?
No. The authorities can have your men. But you're mine.
Is that Fatui tech? Looks like your skills are as good as ever. Listen, I know you're mad that I've been racking up Mora without you all these years, but it looks like you still got it. If you want back in, we can work something out.
After everything that happened, what makes you think I would want back in?
Because what's the alternative? You're not here for revenge, are you? After Kayemwazet took you in, you really convinced yourself you were one of them, huh? What you should have learned is that banking on loyalty and belonging is a losing hand. Better to cash out before you're in the hole. In the desert, my people live by one rule and one rule alone. The last laugh doesn't go to the righteous. It belongs to the one who knows how to cut their losses. Just look at me. When there's Mora to be earned in the desert, I'm a desert folk. When the opportunities in Fontaine are sweeter, I'm a Fontanian.
You think everyone is as much of a lowlife as you?
A lowlife? There's nothing Mora can't buy, Ashvapati. That includes prestige. You're talking to a renowned Fontanian philanthropist who lives in the Vasari Passage and spends his days going from one grand banquet to the next. Nobody who counts would dare call me a lowlife.
Are you done?
Clearly there's no reasoning with you. Fine. Have it your way. But if you want me dead so bad, why'd you come to face me alone? That wasn't the wisest decision now, was it?
Oh, don't you worry. I brought plenty of firepower with me. You could have brought a whole army for all I care. These weapons will bury every last one of you!
What the? Are you crazy? If that thing fires, you're not getting out of here alive either.
Yes, that's the plan. It's high time both of us paid the price for our sins!
He's lost his mind. Get him! Start breaking his bones until he removes this barrier.
Hold it right there, all of you! Otherwise, I've got enough firepower to go around, too.
The Maison Gardiennage!
You got here sooner than I expected.
Hey! What's that in the sky? Looks like bad news!
Ashvapati, you have my word that these people will face the judgment of the Fontaine courts. Remove the barrier and come with us at once.
Fontanian justice is too merciful for them. You should leave us.
Stubborn fool.
I don't deserve them. I have to atone for the things I've done.
What is it you feel you need to atone for? Weapons research?
You're from Liyue, right? Your ancestors were the first people to master the recipe for gunpowder. And yet, they turned it into fireworks and firecrackers that even children could play with. Surely, it's choices like that which make Liyue what it is today. I hear that it's a very peaceful place to live for the most part. But me? I chose to use my research skills to create weapons of war that brought death to countless people and destroyed the only home those kids had. That's why I have to atone. Because I have blood on my hands.
Sounds like you don't know as much as you think about fireworks. They might be harmless fun in this day and age, but they started out as weapons too, you know.
What?
That's right. Fireworks and firecrackers were originally developed for use as weapons. They needed something a little more powerful than usual for purging evil forces and scaring off wild beasts. Over time, evil spirits learned to fear the sight of flames, and the beasts retreated into the mountains. That's when people started repurposing fireworks for entertainment purposes. The peace we enjoy today isn't because we chose to make toys instead of weapons. The weapons are what secured us the peace in the first place. Only then did we have the luxury of choosing to turn them into toys instead. It's people, not weapons, that commit acts of evil. And when people are as bent on destruction as the evil forces and beasts faced by our forebears, whatever tools they have at their disposal end up as weapons.
Time is running out. Please. Leave while you still can.
Relax. Now that we have these guys in custody, I think we can find a way of repurposing these ballistas for the children's amusement.
I knew they were looking for trouble, but they messed with the wrong manager.
Captain, we're in position!
Prepare to intersect! On my signal! Fire!
But how?
A fireworks show? Oh.
Recording mode on.
Has this always been part of the show?
No funny business!
I never imagined the Guizhong ballista could be used for something so beautiful.
If you'll agree to come with us and answer some questions, it would be a big help to our investigation.
Of course. You'll have my full cooperation. I know I'm guilty. Just not sure of the precise crime at this point.
Honestly, me neither. I'm sure a case like yours would have Fontaine's top legal experts scratching their heads. As for these arms dealers, though, I can confidently say that none of them will be getting away with this. So at least you can take some solace in that. I know. There's no sentence the court can give them that will satisfy you. But at least the trial will be a public declaration of their crimes and the punishment they will receive. The victims deserve that much. Considering the alternative was them dying in obscurity to a revenge killing with no one left behind to tell the story. This looks more like real justice to me.
I guess you're right.